And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the final qualifying match of the Master Coliseum number 8 Global Qualifier. We just wrapped up with Skilless versus Solar, and again, Skilless did qualify for the main event over Solar, and now we're here to crown our final qualified players. This is the final game of the series. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Neon Violet Square, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here we go. We have our TVZ, we have our final ace match here. Again, the reason why we missed out on game 1 and game 2 is because they were being played at the same time we were playing our series. So they were happening at the same time, and we have just wrapped up game 2. It was on Abyssal Reef, a very late game. It was like 26 up to 28 minutes long. Late game scenario with Rogue engulfing the entire map and just overwhelming ByuN, starving him out. Rogue had like a 10k bank, and ByuN had nothing. He was just stuck on his corners of the map. And surprisingly enough, we have another large map. Not Abyssal Reef, but large nonetheless. The largest map in the map pool, Neon Violet Square. So we could be in for another long one. Hello, drone. Scouting for a proxy, a little bit paranoid. Okay. I was a little bit confused. Drone scouting is typically not done at this level of play. It is typically considered to be quite inefficient. Especially, of course, if there's no proxy. It's very unlikely for it to be a proxy. But Rogue was a little bit concerned, a little bit scared of what ByuN would do. ByuN, he's not afraid to cheese, so Rogue just scouts just to be safe. In the end, that will give ByuN a bit of an edge. True. We'll give him a slight advantage here. As he's going to be settling in. Behind this, Rogue going for his expansion. Oh, my apologies, it was a gasless opener. Gasless build here from Rogue. Not a 15-15, but gasless nonetheless. And this is leading into a very delayed Ling speed, into Roach production. We have our initial Lings moving out to apply some pressure to gain advantage. Likewise, Queens are on the way as well. And this usually leads into Roach play. The reason why this leads into Roaches is because Ling speed is incredibly late and incredibly delayed, so may as well just skip it entirely and just embrace Roach play instead in the mid game. So Rogue is cutting corners. Neon Violet Square is one of these maps where you can get away with this. You don't need speed Lings to keep up with Hellion aggression, especially when there's only one entry point towards your 3 bases. Only one point of entry here for 3 bases, so I mean Rogue can get away with purely Queens and SimCity. Meanwhile, ByuN getting his own 3rd CC on location, so it's a game agreed. It is a game agreed here. ByuN 3 CC before starport on location. Rogue going gasless into his own 3rd. All about that green. Very similar to Radisson Station. Very similar. Dark times. So we have that 1-1-1 follow-up. Tech Lab on the racks, into an add-on swap, into, I would imagine, Banshee play. Let's go. Oh, also my apologies, if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will be the final player to qualify for Master Coliseum. Is it going to be another Terran, or will it be the first Zerg to qualify? Oh boy. So best of luck in the chat with your predictions. Again, I do apologize for it not being at the start, but I did forget. Did forget. Get it, it's 3 a.m. in the morning. Let's go. Meanwhile, there's that Roach Warren. Again, shouldn't be a surprise, as we did mention. That is kind of the standard follow-up, and ByuN scouts. ByuN confirms. He confirms the Roach Warren. He is aware of what's going on. Again, this is just a very safe way to play, and a very common way to open up as well nowadays in TVZ is Roach Queen. Considering that Queens are now more expensive than they used to be, again, it's all about trying to get those Roaches out as quickly as possible. Hellion's going to be zoned away. Hellions are zoned. Queens, they fully wall off. Again, just throwing down the Evo chamber, making sure there is no way in. There's no way in. Behind this, ByuN going for his 3-1-1 setup into double eBay, double upgrade, stim, combat shields. He will soon embrace ByuN play into around a 7-minute push. Still getting there. ByuN still building up and hasn't really found too much damage yet. And again, that's the power of Neon Violet Square, the power of this map. Just very defendable here on 5 bases. So Rogue is secure. Lair is almost done. Gases are being taken. All the gases actually. Are we bold enough to take into something like Aspire and go into mutas? I'm getting a bit of deja vu. We did cast Rogue during Elite League, going into mass muta and being shut down by the mech of Honmono. But of course, at least ByuN isn't playing mech. And thankfully, +1 range. W shape with +1 range. Ooh, Infestation Pit's on the way. Now, Rogue has an option right now. He can either go into Roach Ravager, into Hydra, Lurker, Viper. We can head towards Hive Tech and Hydra Tech and Lurker Tech as well. That is on the table. Otherwise, against ByuN, I'm not really enjoying the idea of Swarm Host play, so I doubt this will be for Swarm Host. It has to be for Hive Tech, for Hydra Tech, right? Has to be. Copium. Yeah, there it is. Hydrogen. There we go. So it is going to be Hydra Lurker Viper here from Rogue. Again, it's a little bit old school in a sense, opening up Roach Hydra, but again, he's not going to stay. He's not going to be staying on Roach Hydra for too much longer. The goal here should be for Hydra Tech and Lurker Tech as well. That should be the goal at least. This is something that's Dark did popularize. You know, what, 2 years ago at this point? It's been a couple of years. When these gasless openers did rise in popularity. Meanwhile, Banshee's looking for another way in. Here comes out Lurker Den. Lurker Den's now on the way. Banshee's towards the third. Banshee's out deflected. ByuN finally moving out, building up for this moment. He's got 1-1 stim and combat shields. All the upgrades are now done. He can finally be active, changing. They do confirm. They do spot him. Rogue, he's aware of the move outs. Back at home, he's getting ready. Pulling together his queens, his roaches, and his hydras. The Pachinko machine. The army does make its way through the grid. Hellbats have morphed in. And can ByuN break through this without Ravagers? Maybe. Might be able to. Army looking quite fragile, but there we go. More Roaches have arrived. Rogue should be able to hold his own. Stutter steps forward, takes down the Hellbats. And Rogue will hold. As he holds, here come the Lair Tech Lurkers. Let's go. Lurkers are morphing in. Hive upgrades are still in production, but they'll get there in a matter of moments. Likewise, drop into the main, gets denied by the spores. Have ByuN being active. Pushing towards the main, does find a way in. Same time, they're playing on the right-hand side. Ooh, he's gaining ground as well. And Rogue getting pulled apart a little bit here. The Slowling's having a hard time keeping up. Oh, full medevac! Oh, that was a full medevac going down. Massive pickup. ByuN plummets in supply. And Rogue is maxed. Rogue is maxed out. Now, bearing in mind this is inflated supply, bearing in mind that this is mainly Roach-based. So, not the most efficient use of army supply, but maxed nonetheless. And this means that Rogue needs to trade. He needs to trade with the army of ByuN. He needs to throw these Roaches away so he can rebuild with more Hydras and Lurkers. At this point, it might even be wise to just kill his own Roaches. Like, if he's having a hard time trading. There we go, going for a run-by. Roaches are moving out. ByuN rotating over. That's power here on the drop. Ooh, will deter. Roach, they get across the map. They do try to catch some of the ghosts. They don't quite get them. There we go. One ghost goes down. Gets the one. Pushing into the natural. And again, Rogue has to get rid of these roaches. They're hurting him more than anything. Gets the second ghost. Plus into the mineral line. Going for +3. And will deny the upgrade just barely. Nice +3. Gets a couple of SCVs. Pushing him behind the mineral line. And as he bleeds out roaches, he replaces them with drones and with hydras. So nicely done here by Rogue. Successfully trades out the roaches without losing too much or without trading too poorly. Better way of putting it. Now Rogue can settle in. There we go. 11 Overseers on the way. Love to see it. A mass Overseer. Moving out. Jesus. There we go. Double Nidus Storm as well. This is a style that I have not been able to personally cast myself, unfortunately. But here we go. Snipes going up. Ooh, does catch out the lurkers. Very nice snipes. And ByuN breaking through. Takes down most of the lurkers. There's still 5 left. And still 5 remaining. He's going to be able to hold on. Rogue is holding. Changelings are cleaned up. Pushing towards the mineral line. So Rogue's just trying to buy time to rebuild, to mass up. Now, the way this style works here is that ideally with this mass Overseer, one, it makes it difficult to snipe the lurkers. That's the goal, is to keep them over your army. Ooh, he does dive in. Attempts to surround. The other thing, of course, is mass changeling does really make it difficult for the army to traverse, and also ideally can get vision everywhere on the map to Nidus. That's why we have 2 Nidus Swarms for Rogue. He has potential, and the Overseers, they're moving in. Yeah, they're headed towards the bases here of ByuN. That also means that back at home, Rogue is going to be that much more exposed. He gets one of those lurkers. Snipes one. Here we go. Double Nidus Storm into the main. Changelings, they got dropped off, split in between all the bases. Boys are being pulled. Nidus Storms, they will finish. And here come the lurkers. The lurkers, they borrow in time. A massive kill move here. We came to the production. And this is a way to end the game. And meanwhile, more Nidus Storms, one towards the natural, one towards the pocket. Upgrades are being denied. ByuN, he's forced to go all in. He has to commit. He's not going to be able to, though. So many ghosts go down. Lurker still wreaking havoc. Taking down the starports. Nidus are finishing. And they can just rotate. Oh my god. Yeah, ByuN just cannot keep up. Not like this. Overseers, they race back home. Massive surround. Ghosts are falling. ByuN, he would just lose everything. The main base, the main army as well. ByuN, he can't actually spend his money. ByuN, he's got a 2k bank, but he cannot make any units as the production's in the air. And here comes Rogue. Knocks down the gold. Nidus into the main. Lurker still popping up. Nice clean up here in the main base. Finally, the lurkers go down, but the damage has been done. And GG Rogue, he will overwhelm, and he will be the first and only Zerg player to qualify through the qualifiers for Masters Coliseum 8. GG. GG, well played, Rogue, with his own style as well. This is something that Rogue did, I say popularize. I mean, he has brought to the table. I believe he did feature it. Was it at Star Zagora, if I remember correctly? Was that Star Zagora against Clem, or was it? God, these two events, they blend into my mind. No, it wasn't Star Zagora. It was Big Lulu Cup, right? Yeah. Like, in my brain, they both happened at around the same time. But I believe it was Big Lulu Cup, where Rogue was able to flex that, was able to take down both ByuN and Clem with this style, and does it again. GG. GG, well played. Rogue will qualify, will make it through. Congratulations. My condolences to ByuN, as this does mean that ByuN will not be a part of the main event. ByuN is denied. ByuN is going to be denied here. And now we can take a moment to have a look at the bracket itself and catch up on everything that has been going on. Oh boy, let's go. Let us go. From the very top here. Okay, we should have... Not that. Beautiful. Bam. We have the competing page. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at yourselves. If you guys want to have a look yourselves, welcome to Masters Coliseum 8. Again, it's going to be a big, major online event. Has a prize pool of 15,000 USD, and you can see here 6,000 USD for first place, followed by 3K, 1.5, and 1K, and of course spread out amongst the rest of the contenders. It is a 16-player tournament. A lot of money on the line here, and the best of the best players in the world will face off. We have our initial invited players. We had 2 Protoss in Hero and Max packs. They are the top 2 Protoss players in the world, followed by the top 3 Terrans in Clem, Maru, and Oliveira. So 3 Terran invites and 3 Zerg invites in Raynor, Serral, and Shin. We mentioned earlier that Dark was not invited. Dark would have to go through the qualifiers. Dark did not participate in the qualifiers. Did not participate. Solar did. So did Laser, so did Lambo. But as you can see here, did not qualify here. Did not qualify. Who did qualify? Lancer, the Chinese Protoss player, made it through the Asia qualifiers. From the Korean qualifiers, we had Cure, Gumiho, and Zaun, 2 Terrans and a Protoss. From the European and Americas qualifier, we had Estrella and Spirit, Protoss and a Terran. And we just wrapped up the global qualifier, the last chance qualifier. We have Skillus and Rogue, a Protoss and a Zerg player. Let's go. So all in all, we have 6 Protoss, 6 Terran, and 4 Zerg. When it comes to Zerg players that we are missing here, I would say Solar and Dark are the 2 notable Zerg players that are nowhere to be found. But we were cast in the qualifiers, and Skillus denied Solar. Skillus and Solar, they were in a qualifying match. Skillus made it through, was able to bring Solar down with his own unique styles, with his own unique play. Especially in Game 1. Game 1 was a lot of fun. Game 2 was more standard. Game 1, much more stylistic to Skillus. Skillus able to snowball out of control and qualify over Solar. And Dark did not compete in the qualifiers. So again, don't know why Dark was unavailable, but he was otherwise unavailable here. There is potential, again, this is just pure speculation, that maybe has to do with military service. That's always the thing to bring up whenever Dark isn't going to be going somewhere, because we have yet to be notified when Dark's military service is. So it's possible that it might coincide with the event, because for those who don't know, this event is a 2-month long event. 2 months, the month of December and the month of January. It's a very long event. So if you are unavailable, if you won't be able to really confirm that you can compete and play throughout those 2 months, then that would be a reason why you would not play. That would be a reason. Meanwhile, scrolling on down, we have the group stage. You can see here the group stage begins next week, 5 days, or 6 days. 6 days from now, we have Group A. Again, is a round-robin group stage. Round-robin, and every series is casted. That is why this lasts 2 months. It's going to be a 2-month-long event. We're going to have a lot of games, a lot of matches, a lot of content going through Group A, Group B, Group C, and Group D. A lot of matches going to be held here, and we will be crowning our new Masters Coliseum champion. Oh boy. Here we go. Who is it going to be? And again, this is honestly going to be a really nice showcasing of the new patch as well. This was the downside of Home Story Cup. Home Story Cup was a great event, don't get me wrong, but Home Story Cup was limited to whoever they invited, right? To those that could travel to Krefeld and to Home Story Cup. Because of that, there were a lot of players that weren't a part of it. Players like, for example, most of the green Protosses. You know, Hero wasn't there, Maxfax wasn't there, Zaun, Estrella, Lancer, right? These players were not a part of that. A lot of these Terrans were, Clem and Maru. Oliveira was not at Home Story Cup, so I'm also really excited to cast some Oliveira. We've been covering his accolades over the past 2 months during the Pondcast, and Oliveira, he has been on fire. We've seen Oliveira, at least score-wise, take down players like Hero time and time again, Trap, Shin, ByuN. Like, Oliveira has been looking very in form. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. Gumiho, of course, the reigning Home Story Cup champion. We'll see how he compares and how he can compete against the rest. We have Cure, Spirits. We have the two European Zergs and Raynor and Serral. Shin, if you haven't been watching the channel, we've been casting a lot of Shin over the past 3 months, and Shin has been insane. Shin has been one of the few players to take down players like Clem and take down players like MaxFax on a more regular basis in online tournaments. Like, Shin has been a beast. So it's going to be amazing to see him also featured in this event as well. And of course, Rogue, who is still a little bit more of an enigma. Rogue, who relatively recently came back from the military and has been also getting some better and better results, some impressive play. I mean, we just saw him take down ByuN, and in a similar style, he has also taken down Clem as well. In a similar play style, I mean. So yeah, Rogue, he's also a force to be reckoned with. 100%. With that, GG. With that, GG, well played. We will be wrapping up here for the night. It is 3 a.m. in the morning. Time to get some, I'm going to go get some food, then I'm probably going to get some rest. I'm going to try and sleep as much as possible in the lead up to the next cast. When is the next broadcast, you might ask? I believe in 8 hours? Yes, in 8 hours time, we are going to be live with the KSL, with the Korean StarCraft League. The KSL was live during a couple of days ago, over the weekend. We were not able to cast it ourselves as we were busy sleeping and preparing for Cheesadelphia, so we weren't able to cover it, but we can cover it tomorrow by replay. So in 8 hours time, going to be live with the Korean StarCraft League, and we'll be going over all those matches. Have heard some good things. Have heard some good things about that, and there's a lot of StarCraft to go over. When it comes to tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening, I have not heard about the Wardy TV Monday. In general, I haven't heard from Wardy in a while. Ever since Home Story Cup, he's been a little bit more dormant. Maybe just taking some time off, maybe recovering from Home Story Cup as well. So because of that, I do not know if Wardy TV Monday is coming back. We'll find out. So yet to be determined. He hasn't announced anything, so I doubt it's going to be back this week, maybe next week. But if it doesn't come back to tomorrow, I'm more than happy to sleep. I haven't had a proper day's rest in weeks, so I wouldn't be opposed to sleeping a little bit more freely. But we'll see what happens. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see you guys tomorrow in 8 hours for some more KSL. Otherwise, we'll see you when we see you. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you for some more StarCraft. Otherwise, you can follow us. You can follow us on all the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. All things CranKy Ducklings. Let me just quickly post in the chat. Bam! There we go. Exclamation mark socials. You can follow us. We post it whenever we go live. Likewise, you can support us on Patreon as well. If you're curious, what is our Patreon? You can see it there just underneath ByuN's name. Our Patreon is how much we do get a month for our tournaments. That all that money does go towards our tournaments, goes towards our events. If you want to support them, if you want to help grow them, you can do so via Patreon as well. Tournaments like Sparkling Tuna Cup, Sea Duckling Open, and Master Swan Open as well. Plenty of content available here on the channel. We're also live on YouTube. We're also do post VODs on YouTube on a daily basis, so plenty of VODs on YouTube. If you can't watch live, if you're like, oh, KSL's in 8 hours, well, I live in Europe and 8 hours is like 2 a.m., I'm going to be asleep, well, you can watch the VODs. You can watch the VODs on YouTube, papi. They're all going to be there. You can watch them at your convenience. Otherwise, we're wrapping up, and we'll see you next time. Until then, thank you for watching. Hasta luego. Also, if there is no Wardy TV Monday tomorrow, that means I have an evening free, and I might be streaming. I might be streaming on my own personal channel. I do not ladder on the CranKy Ducklings. I ladder on light_VIP. On YouTube and on Twitch. So if you're interested, you can follow me. If you're interested, you can follow me there. I'll be honest though, I haven't had much time to ladder, and I haven't laddered in like 2 weeks, so I'm very rusty, papi. So it's gonna be a smurge ladder session, let me tell you. But if you're interested, you can follow me there. I will most likely, again, if there's no Wardy TV Monday, I'll probably be live at that time instead, just laddering, and then maybe playing some Final Fantasy 16. Recently did get Final Fantasy 16 and have been enjoying it as well, so might play some of that on stream. Otherwise, see you guys next time. Hasta luego. Ciao, baby, ciao. See you next time. Ga.